Victor, LakelandCarKeys.com. I'm currently sitting in the 2005 Dodge Magnum station wagon. The customer had this original remote head key, and this is the key that they supplied for me to cut and program. I explained to them, there's a couple of different variations of this key, different frequencies. So if the remote portion doesn't work, that's not my fault. They have the wrong key. But I'm going to go ahead and program. I already copied the blade part, and I'm inside the vehicle. So when I put the key in and I turn it to the on position, this little red light down here, this is my immobilizer. So when I put a program key in and turn it to the on position, this should light up for about 4 seconds and then go out. And that lets me know that the car recognized the key. Alright, so in the Dodges, they're not like, Toyotas or Hondas or something where you put the key in and it might ask for a programmed key. We do not need a programmed key to add them in, so that's our new key there. It's in the ignition, and I am going to use my Auto Pro Pad Basic to program it. Let's see. So I'm going to go into immobilizer programming, Chrysler. Alright, so we're gonna select by model, hit Dodge Magnum, and this is 05 through 08. Do you want to bypass pin code? Alright, so I never seen that before. Let's see. Alright, so I'm gonna read the number of keys real quick. So right now it's saying there's already 4 keys in the memory of this vehicle, and we want to program blank keys. Current number of keys stored in memory 4. Press OK. OK. And it told me failed to communicate. Let's see, did I select something wrong? Nope. Alright, so we're gonna go Magnum 05 to 08. Alright, so let me try reading pin code first. Alright, so 7024 is our pin. Alright, so we want to program blank key. It's in the ignition. Alright. Alright, it said it complete, but the number of keys didn't change, so let's check this out. Alright, so that didn't work. As we can see, our immobilizer light's still on. So these particular cars, without a program key, it will start up, it will run for about 2 or 3 seconds and then shut off like it does right there. And basically what it is it's cutting the fuel. So, there's a little bit of fuel squirted in the motor when you turn the key on. And then when it starts, it runs for a couple of seconds. And then once that fuel dies out, the car shuts off. But yeah, I'm going to go through this programming one more time. If not, I'll switch programmers and we'll get this done. Alright, so I switched to my Auto IM508. And I'm still having the same thing. The key's failing. So the Auto gives me, when I go through the menu, the options to select immobilizer type 1 or type 2. I tried both, they both failed, but the Auto Pro Pad just went into programming mode. So those are little things to watch out for. Sometimes when you get failures, you can switch from type 1 to type 2 and, it'll go through. In this particular case, it did not go through. It continued to fail. I did take the key out and read the chip status, and it's coming up as locked, as in it programmed to the car. So I know this is a brand new key that I took out the package. And, it just might be a bad key, and that's the thing you run into when you use customers' keys. This is what I was talking about. When you look at the key information, you see down at the bottom where it says locked or not, and it says already locked. That means this key has been programmed. Now, I didn't look at this information prior to, because like I said, it was brand new in a sealed package. I took it out. So there's a possibility that I locked this attempting to program it to the car, even though the programming failed. So I have another key here. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to read it like this. I have another key here that I'm going to try to program and see if it changed. Well, look at this. So I'm reading this one, and it's telling me it's already locked. So let me look at a couple more of these. Maybe that's just how these read. Some keys read like that. This is why it's important sometimes when you're programming keys and you run into problems, reading the key, pre-reading the key. So I went through two more of these keys, and they both said locked. They were brand new keys in the bag. And then I came across this one, which is another brand new key, and it says unlocked. So that's what we want. We want our key to read as unlocked. So these particular keys, when they're programmed to the car, they lock to that car. And when it says locked, what it means is it's tied into the BCM unique code. So you can erase these keys from that car and program them back into the same car, no problems at all. You just can't take this car and program it into a car with a different BCM, or if you change the BCM in the original car, you're more than likely going to need new keys unless you get the BCM cloned. Alright, so now that I have a key that is supposed to be the right key and it's showing unlocked, I'm going to switch the internals from this new key into the key I just cut and tried programming it to the vehicle, and we'll see if we get anything different there. Alright, so I'm going to potentially sacrifice this key just for the sake of testing for this video. If I program this key to the vehicle and say hypothetically the remote portion doesn't work, then hypothetically I wasted this key. If it don't program and it stays unlocked, then it's no waste. I put it back together and go on. So the board on my key was a little bit different than the case on his key. So if I program this and it does work, I'll put the board back in my key and recut my key, and I just charge him for a new key. But I just want to see what's going on with, is it his Amazon key that the program is failing? Is it the wrong key? Is it the car? Just going step by step, trying to figure something out. So that's in there. It's in the on position, and we're going to retry our programming. Alright, and nope, that still failed. So, shut it off. Turn it back on. Watch the immobilizer light. And it stays flashing. So that's a failure. This is the remote key that I just pulled out brand new that was unlocked. I just tried programming to the car. Programming failed. So what I want to do now is look at this and see if it's still saying that it's unlocked or if it's now reading as a locked transponder. Alright, see now where it says already locked? So that's what I suspect happened with his original Amazon key. It was a brand new key in the package. Programming failed on the vehicle. Tried to add the new key in. It failed, but now it says locked. I just did the same thing with my key, and that's what I was explaining in the last video. More than likely, this was a waste, because now it's locked to that vehicle. It's not going to work. We can't program it. Alright, so let me just go through. What I'm going to try to do now is all keys lost and add 2 keys back in. There's always a risk with that in a situation like this. If his original key doesn't program back into the vehicle, then there's no keys to start the car. So, you know, this is an unused car at a dealership. So if we do have a failure, I'm not in a rush to, you know, get this going. I'm not stranding nobody or anything. So let's go ahead and try to get this set up and try to see if this works. So now I'm back in the vehicle. I'm in the erase key function, and it's asking me, do I want to erase all the keys? And we got our fingers crossed that we're going to be able to add this old key back in. Alright, so right now there's currently 0 keys in the system. Take this out, turn it to the on position, and there goes our immobilizer light, and it's flashing. Alright, so we'll go back here, and I'm going to select old key learning. Alright. Alright, so we're good. So we was able to add that old key back in. So we know we're in the right programming menu. The pickup ring on the car works. You know, his original key is good. So how do we figure out what was the failure point next? Were both of our keys bad? I'm gonna go in and try to add these keys in and see if we get anywhere. So this is his original Amazon key. I'm gonna stick it in there, stick it to the on position, and then that's us. Do we want to learn the next key? I'm gonna go ahead, hit yes, hit OK. Now we're in old key learning, and the original key you see added in within those first 10 seconds. So this is probably going to be a failure. I will try it one more time and add new key, even though this one's saying locked. Because it said lock, I figured we'd try old key first, but it looks like this is going to fail, and then I can go ahead and try something else. Alright, so that failed. Do you want to try to learn the next key? We're going to hit yes. Alright, so it's asking us to cycle the key. Okay. And you know, when we just did that last one, I didn't have the key all the way on. And that might have been my problem. So right there, just took it in within the first 10 seconds. And now we have 2 new keys. Let's check out this immobilizer light. Alright, stays on for about 4 seconds and goes out. Alright, vehicle starts up and runs. That's it. Got the key all assembled back together. Remote functions are working. Just double checking the blade. You got lock, unlock, and we go in, stick the key in, start it up, it runs and drives. So what was our initial point of failure? That I'm not 100% sure. I got to go back and watch the video and make sure when I was turning it on, I was going all the way to the on position. You know, most cars it's one click and then it's on, and these Dodges have accessory 1 and accessory 2, and then on. So maybe I wasn't turning the key on both times. Maybe, 4 was the maximum that this was going to take, and the all keys lost allowed me to add them in. Maybe there was just something else conflicting in the key, in the programming. That I'm not 100% sure, but we were able to program the new key and get all the functions in. Thanks for watching. LakelandCarKeys.com.